What's going on, guys? It's Friday, so that means it's time for Tactical Talks. If it's windy out here, I apologize. I wanted to kind of get away from the scenery. I know you guys watch my videos, my subscribers, and I'm always in my house, in my living room, in my kitchen, or whatever. So I wanted to kind of get away from that, give you a little bit of outdoor scenery. I was going to go to a different location. We were going to have a bunch of water and stuff behind us. Well, it's really muddy because it rained here non-stop for like a week, 2 weeks straight, and my truck ended up getting stuck. So that was a little ordeal. It took me about 10-15 minutes to get my truck out of the mud because I only have a two-wheel drive truck. Anyways, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so today I wanted to talk about the Roland Special. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Roland Special is, this is it right here. Now, the Roland Special, based off the research that I've done and everything I've been able to look at online, it's a gun. And it's not necessarily a specific gun. Now, I'll tell you what they started off with and kind of the components that they use for most of these Roland Specials, but it's a gun that's been upgraded pretty much to the max. It's kind of like the ultimate gun, and in this sense, they use Glock, so it's like the ultimate Glock. Now, it's normally a Glock 19. They normally put a Trijicon RMR on top of it. Any kind of flared mag well, there's not necessarily a specific one, even though I think the first one they use in Agency Arms, if I'm not mistaken, mag well at the bottom. It's usually the Surefire X300 on there, and then whatever barrel you want to go with that's threaded, and then with the compensator on there. Now, after that, some people do upgrade the components on the inside, triggers, they get stippling done, they get front serrations done on the slide, stuff like that, but those are kind of extras. The main components, like I said, are the light, the red dot, the threaded barrel to make it compensated, the compensator, and the flared out mag well. So those are kind of what makes this Roland Special. Now, the Roland Special, like I said, as far as everything I can look at or was able to find, was created in 2015, and in the last 3 years it had just kind of blown up into something, I mean, huge. Everywhere you look, everywhere you see, you know, people have pistols with red dots on them. So I'm no different. If you guys watching my videos, you guys know that I got a pistol with a red dot on it. Now, what I wanted to show you guys is this is kind of my budget Roland Special. Now, with that, when I say budget, this gun still costs money. It's still fairly pricey. But if you go online and you look at Roland Specials, you can build it or you can buy it. Now, a lot of guys, a lot of companies have these Roland Specials already done up, already built, and you're looking at anywhere from $2,000 to about $3,000 for the gun and all the components, Roland Special, fully done up. Well, I wanted to show you guys my gun, and this is for the viewers who haven't seen my gun. Now, this is my Glock 17C, and for those of you who don't know, the C stands for compensated. I've got cutouts right here at the top of the slide, and if you look, it's going to be kind of hard to tell, but the barrel is also cut into. And what that does is every time you fire around, the gases shoot up out the top instead of all of that pressure coming out on the front, causing your gun to kick up. Now, in the past, I had a compensator on top of the gun already being compensated, but it just wasn't giving me enough pressure and my gun wasn't cycling correctly. So we took that compensator off, and now we're just compensated one time, which is still really good. So that kind of covers the compensation part of the Roland Special. The light that I have on here, very bright light, is the Streamlight TLR1 HL. I have not used or don't know much about the Surefire X300. I've talked to other guys that have used those or have those, and I've seen nothing but great reviews on them. But again, I'm saying, like I said, this is budget. First off, this is a light that I've used on multiple guns, so it's what I know. The other thing is, this light costs about $100 on average. You can get it cheaper sometimes. The Surefire X300, I've seen it as expensive as $250. Now, I don't know what the average price is on that, but I mean, that's a whole nother $150 that I could spend on something else. The other thing is the red dot. Everybody goes Trijicon RMR, and again, I've never shot the Trijicon RMR. I've heard nothing but great things about them, great reviews. I watch other people's videos, and I do want to get one eventually, but this is the Vortex Viper. It's a red dot, it works. I had one issue where the red dot stopped coming on, and I sent it off to Vortex, and I contacted them. They said, yeah, send it off. They fixed it, sent it back. No cost to me. All I did is, I didn't even pay shipping, to tell you the truth. They sent me the little postage note and everything. I sent it out, and they took care of that for me. The other thing is this mag well. flared out magwell. This one is the one from Glock store for Gen 4 Glocks, and I've had excuse me, I've had no issues with that. Magazine goes in there fairly easy. Now, if you'll notice on there, I have other things added to the gun. I have a CMC flat trigger on there. I have Terran Tactical grip extension, or sorry, mag extensions, and then I have the Talon grip grip on the pistol grip there. And this gun, I mean, just performs amazingly. This is my Roland Special. The thing about this gun is a lot of people will argue that this gun, the 17, is more accurate than the 19, or that you get better accuracy, better velocity because of the longer barrel. Now, you're not going to see a huge difference from the 19 to the 17 as far as shooting, but I mean, why not? I like this gun when I saw it. That's why I ended up getting this one. As far as the gun front to back, the slide length, I really don't care about the length from there. I appendix carry most of the time, so I mean, the gun can go all the way down to my knee as far as as far as that's concerned, and I'll still be fairly comfortable with it. The biggest thing that I do like about the 19 over the 17 as far as appendix carrying is the pistol grip. When I sit here, of course, this 17 mag grip or grip magwell kicks out farther than the 19 does, but I mean, it's nothing that I'm going to switch from this gun to a 19 just for that reason. What I really want to emphasize is this gun is not for everybody. Not this gun specifically, not this setup specifically. I mean, if you're a new gun owner or you're thinking about, your first gun or whatever the case is, I do not recommend going with something this big and this intricate. Now, is it possible to learn how to use this and build fundamentals and basics off of this? Yes, but is it practical? Probably not. What I would do is get a Glock or whatever pistol you're going to build off of, and just practice with that gun. Get used to that gun, get used to the feel of it. Just go out and shoot it before you start upgrading all these parts and all these things. This way you can at least compare the original to what you end up upgrading to see if you even like it, because this trigger is a lot different than the stock trigger. I have other guns that I've upgraded triggers on. I have an L2D combat trigger, I have a Monarch trigger, I have the CMC trigger, I have stock triggers. I mean, they all feel a little bit different. Now for me, I've been shooting guns for years, so it's not anything, the change isn't so drastic that it bothers me or affects me to where I'm like, well, I'm not going to shoot that, or I definitely don't like this, don't like that. But for a new shooter, you have to get used to the gun before you can actually start making these kinds of upgrades. The other thing is with this red dot, when I'm sighting in with this red dot, any little bitty movement makes a huge difference as opposed to iron sights. With your iron sights, you can kind of maneuver the gun back and forth. When I draw this pistol, I'm usually drawing appendix carry, but when I draw and come up, that gun has to be sitting flat for me to even acquire that red dot. So that makes a huge difference in shooting from iron sights and red dot. Now, if you want to get a red dot, I highly recommend it. I wouldn't have one if I didn't think that they were useful, but again, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different dynamic. So if you do get a red dot, I mean, I would put hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 rounds before I even decided I wanted to carry this thing, just because it's that big of a difference. So that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video, was a Roland Special. I mean, is it something that, over the years we've gone from iron sights on rifles and shotguns even, and everybody's rolling to these red dots. Everybody's putting red dots on everything. So it only makes sense that with time, people would start putting red dots on pistols. And like I said, everything that I saw as far as the Roland Special specific configuration was about 2015 that people started doing this. And then with the last 3 years, it's just blown up. And like I said, if you are a gun guy, if you look at guns, you've seen red dots on guns. It is, that's just what it is. But is this something that's practical? Do you think that this makes sense? Do you think that this is something that the gun community is going to go to, is more red dots on pistols rather than iron sights? On top of that, is it something that you would use? Is it something that you would carry? I'm law enforcement, so I'm not allowed to carry a red dot on my pistol at work, but outside of work, I love it. I enjoy it. It's easier for me to acquire a target just because I practiced with it so long. My duty pistol has a light on it, and all my other guns have lights on it just because, I work primarily at nighttime. I'm usually up at nighttime, and I move around a lot, so I mean, I just don't know where I'm going to be, or if I'm going to enter a dark room, a dark house. So I feel like the light makes a lot of sense. As far as the gun being compensated, I posted videos in the past of me being out at the range and shooting. Now, unless you're actually holding the gun, you can see a slight difference on the camera, and even when I put it in slow motion, you can see a slight difference. But unless you're actually holding the gun, you're really not going to feel the huge difference that it makes in between shots, and how much quicker it gets right back onto that target. So again, like I said, let me know what you guys think about that. The last thing I wanted to leave you guys with is my Glock 43. Now, I know you guys have seen this gun a lot. I know I talk about this gun a lot. This is my favorite gun that I have, hands down. And this is set up similar to the Roland Special. If you think about it, I mean, no, there's no magwell, mag flare on this one, but I haven't seen one for the Glock 43. If you guys have, comment down below, let me know about it. Maybe it's something I'll try out on this thing. But it does have a light on it, and it does have a compensator on it. I have the Silencer Co. barrel. I have the Texas Black Rifle Company compensator on it, and this gun is very snappy for as small as it is. Both of these guns, I mean, huge size difference. Both of these guns shoot the same size ammunition. They're both 9mm. So the compensator definitely makes a difference on this one, and this one is a lot more evident as far as on the video. Now, what I wanted to ask you guys is, I asked you guys about my Glock 27 and what I should do with it, because I even talked about putting a red dot on that thing, or should I just keep it fiber optic sights? A majority of what I heard you guys are telling me is stay fiber optic, don't do a red dot, and I could see that. I was just kind of venturing out, wanting to try something new. That's why I was even brought that up. But what I want to show you guys is this thing. Is that something that I should put on my Glock 43? They now have a compact size for single stack pistols red dot. This thing almost is a Roland Special, or at least a version of that gun. Would that be too ridiculous? Let me know what you guys think about that. Comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.